I was shocked. I was like, like, no way. I couldn't, it just took my breath away.
You can't trust the voice, you can't trust the photo, and you can't trust the video anymore.
That a staggering 96% of the deepfakes online were non-consensual porn.
My mind was just so brainwashed. And I said, okay.
I believe this person. That's why I fell for her.
This person doesn't even exist. This person wasn't a real person.
Artificial intelligence is a powerful tool, but in the wrong hands, it can be the world's most dangerous weapon. But unfortunately, people are already using AI to break the law in terrible ways, for manipulating election to impersonating your loved ones. These are the worst crimes committed with AI, ranked from the least to the most disturbing on Digital Detective. It's definitely one that needed a little bit more research because AI crimes are still pretty new. Our first AI crime was so smooth that nobody realized a massive crime was committed until long after it was over. The $25 million mistake. In February 2024, a company called Arrow was hit by one of the most advanced AI crimes ever. Many other companies have been victims of AI attack, but this particular heist was so incredible that it made headlines around the world. But out of all these companies in the world, why did these AI crimes go after Arab? Arab is an engineering firm with multi-million dollars project from the globe. Despite being a well-organized company, Arab had one major weakness. Its offices were spread across the world. By 2023, Arab Group had 94 offices in 34 countries, a fact they were proud to share on their website. Little did they know of being so spread out would make them an easy target for AI conmen. It was a regular day in February 2024. An accountant in the Arab's Hong Kong office received an email from the company's chief financial officer based in the United Kingdom. But as soon as the accountant read the message, he thought it was a scam. The email asked him to secretly transfer millions of dollars from the company account into several other bank accounts. He did not believe that the Arab's chief financial officer would send such a strange request. However, it seemed like it was legit because the email also asked him to join a video call with the CFO. He was about to see and talk to the person who wanted him to move all that money. When the video call began, he saw the CFO and the several familiar faces from the United Kingdom office. The CFO wasted no time explaining that they needed to spend a large sum of money immediately for a secret deal. The CFO warned them that if they did not act quickly, the company should be in serious trouble. Everyone else on the call nodded in agreement, which made it feel even more urgent. Trusting what they saw and heard, the Hong Kong accountant decided to follow their instruction. With a few clicks, he transferred 200 million Hong Kong dollars, which is about 25.6 million US dollars, out of the company account to 5 different Hong Kong bank accounts. Most importantly, he transferred the money without telling anyone else because they told him it was a secret transaction. But what the accountant did not know was the chief financial officer that he spoke to on a video call was not real. It was a deepfake. In fact, everyone else on the video call was a deepfake too. A week later, Arab found out $25.6 million had gone missing from their Hong Kong account. When they asked the accountant why he transferred the money, he simply said the CFO ordered him to do it. It did not take long for everyone to realize the accountant had been doomed. But by then, it was too late. The money was gone.
I like to imagine the reactions of all the chiefs of the company when they hear that this guy just authorized $26 million to Mr. Bomba Stickley in the Bahamas.
When word got out about the crime, people were stunned. The big question everyone had was, how did the accountant notice that the CFO on the video call was a deepfake? The truth is that some deepfakes are a lot more realistic than most people think, especially for people who are not keeping up with technology. Deepfakes don't just copy faces and voices, it can even imitate mannerism. In this case, the deepfake was so realistic that even the accountant who would spoken with the real CFO many times could not tell the difference. The other people on the video call looked and sounded just like his actual co-worker.
This is real-time back and forth. This is an escalation of the technology that we've already come to fear. Now we have a reason to fear it even more.
Once they reported it to the police, news outlets picked up on it fast. The criminal behind the huge heist have not been caught yet. Imagine turning your passion for music into a multi-million dollar criminal empire. The next year, crime did not just use AI for just one crime. They used it to build a criminal empire, the failed musician. This guy must be a genius, but criminal genius is probably a better way to describe him. His name is Michael Smith, and he invented a whole new type of crime, using AI to steal millions of dollars from the music industry, and he did it all without losing his bedroom. Michael Smith did not start out as a criminal. For most of his life, he was a regular law-abiding guy. He was actually a musician, but when he reached his late 40s, he started to feel frustrated because despite his talent and hard work, he still was not a famous musician. On top of that, he was broke. Then in 2017, he came up with a brilliant plan to make millions off from music, whether he was famous or not. The only problem was that his brilliant plan was against the law. To pull it off, Michael teamed up with two partners, a music promoter and the CEO of an AI music company. He told them about his plan, explaining how it could bring them over $1.2 million a year. Michael's idea was to create a ton of songs and upload them to streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, hoping to make money from all of the plays. But instead of using real musicians, he would use AI to make the song. It seemed like the perfect crime, and they got to work. Before long, they were turning out dozens of songs every day. In their emails to each other, they called it instant music. The plan had 3 steps. First, AI created strange songs with odd file names. Next, Michael uploaded these songs to Spotify and Apple Music, but he changed their titles to some pretty weird words. The AI song sucked, so he created thousands of fake bot accounts to listen to these songs over and over, making it seem like real people were enjoying the music.
And they created thousands of bots, and these bots are just programs that are designed to just run in the background and play these pieces of music.
Michael knew that if a single song were to be streamed 1 billion times, it would raise suspicious among the streaming platform. So he raised his automated stream across thousands of songs. He created software to stream his songs to different computers, making it appear that listeners were tuning in from different locations. The bots rotated between songs and listened at different times of the day, making everything seem more believable. Michael created as many as 10,000 streaming accounts using email addresses he purchased online. He even hired assistants to help manage all the bots. Since platforms like Spotify and Apple Music pay artists for each play, the more stream his AI song got, the more he earned. Everything was going perfectly, but that was about to change. In October, less than a year after they started, a streaming platform gave Michael some bad news. They said they received multiple reports of streaming abuse and were considering removing his songs. But this time Michael already made close to $1 million. This would have been the perfect time to quit before getting caught. But instead, Michael doubled down. He messaged a streaming platform saying this is absolutely wrong and crazy. There's no fraud here whatsoever. How can I appeal this? He was so convincing that the streaming services backed down and kept his song up. From 2017 to 2024, Michael A's songs generated over 4 billion streams and $12 million in royalties. However, the streaming platform still had their eye on him. They knew something fishy was going on, but they could not prove it yet. As technology improved, streaming platforms started using their own AI tools to detect fake bots and streams. By September 2024, they gathered enough evidence to prove that Michael was running a scam with AI music. By this time, they did not send him any email to kick him out of the platform. Instead, they called the FBI.
As FBI agents raided a Cornelius man's home. He's a musician, now facing serious charges.
When we got here, FBI agents were in the driveway of Smith's home on Willdare Drive.
Michael was arrested and charged with 3 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. Each charge carries a maximum of 20 years in prison, which would mean up to 60 years behind bars. Michael Smith's case is still happening at the time of this recording. If he convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars, but at least he made the history.
This is the first criminal case involving AI in music streaming fraud.
Every day people use apps like ChatGPT and Midjourney to generate tons of words and images. But while most people use it for good things, these next criminals use it to create chaos, fake news. People always say seeing is believing, but in 2023 some viral photos made everyone question. In March, photos showing President Donald Trump being arrested spread across social media. They exploded on Twitter, Instagram and all over the internet. A lot of the people thought the arrest was real until they found out it was all a lie.
Deep fake photos like these swirled around social media, seemingly showing the former president struggling with authorities.
Multiple TV networks confirmed that Trump was not arrested and that the photos were fake. The expert noticed details like strange skin tones, blurry faces, and body parts that did not look right.
They may look real, but none of them are.
It turned out that these photos were created using an AI tool called Midjourney. These photos of President Trump caused so much chaos that Midjourney banned the person who made those photos. Midjourney also stopped taking cues with the word Trump in it. While no one got jailed for the fake Trump images, but a man in China was not so lucky when he tried to spread fake news. In 2023, news about a train crash in China went viral, claiming that 9 people lost their lives. The story was picked up by 20 different blogs in country and soon had over 15,000 views. People who read it were panicking and worried about their families and friends. But overnight, everything changed. Chinese authorities stepped in and announced that the entire story was fake. There was no train crash, no that it was all made up. But instead of feeling relieved, believed that it was not true, the authorities were furious. China has strict rules for online information, including a law about AI-generated content. These laws say any image, video, or text generated with AI must be clearly labeled as fake. The fake news about the train crash broke the law, and the police wanted to find and punish the person behind it. What started as a fake news story turned into a full police investigation. After some time, they traced the blog post back to a guy named Hong from Gansu. When they questioned him, Hong admitted he used ChatGPT to create different versions of the fake story to bypass duplication checks. With his confession, Hong was arrested for concocting false information, the specific crime Hong was accused of. However, he speaking quarrels and provoking trouble, which was punishable by up to 5 years in prison. This made him the first person in China to be arrested for using AI to create fake news. AI chatbots and algorithms are being designed to emotionally manipulate users. From fake relationship to deceptive dare techniques, these systems prey on our vulnerabilities, using our emotion as a tool for profit or exploitation. The disturbing recording. A disturbing AI crime occurred in the last place you would expect, a high school. On January 16, 2024, 3 teachers from Pikesville High Schools received a mysterious email from an unknown sender. Most people don't open emails from strangers, but this one had a subject line that was impossible to ignore. Pikesville principal disturbing recorded. Attached to the email was an audio file, and when each teacher played the audio, their jaw hit the floor. The voice in the audio was unmistakable. It belonged to their boss, Pikesville High School principal Eric Eisworth. In the recording, principal was making inappropriate comment about black people, saying stuff like black students could not test their way out of a paper bag.
You know, I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumb here every day.
In the same audio, the principal also made bad comments about Jewish people and mentioned the name of staff members who should have never been hired.
Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his out of here one way or another.
It did not take long for the recording to spread. Soon other teachers heard it, then students and parents. Somehow the audio made its way onto social media and it went viral, shared over 27,000 times. The school district immediately suspended the principal and launched an investigation into the matter, but that was not enough to calm people down.
It feels like really uncomfortable. It's like the environment at the school just starts to feel hostile more and more like every day as I'm here.
Folks in the community were so angry, they tried to get physical with the principal. Others even sent him death threats. Eventually, police officer had to be stationed outside of the principal's Eisworth house to protect him from the angry crowd. It was not long before this story spread to the media, turning this high school scandal into national news.
Folks, the Baltimore County Public School System is investigating the principal at Pikesville High School for allegedly making derogatory comments about black students, staff, and Jewish folk.
And what's very unfortunate for him, he's probably going to be out of his job.
But there was something about this case that did not add up. Principal Eisworth insisted that the recording was fake. He swore he never said any of those things. Unfortunately, no one in the community believed him. The voice in the recording sounded exactly like his, and he was talking about the people he worked with. Even the principal's closest friend thought it was real. There was nothing to suggest otherwise. However, the principal kept insisting the audio was fake and would not back down. Because he was so persistent, the school district investigating the case started to wonder if he was telling the truth. The principal would have to take a lie detector test. The authorities put him through the test, and the result turned the entire case around. The result showed the principal Eisworth did not make the statement on the audio, but this was only made things more confusing. If the principal did not say those things in the recording, then why did the voice in the audio sound exactly like his? Experts were brought in to study the audio, and soon they had their answer. A forensic analysis revealed that the audio contained traces of AI-generated content with human editing after the fact. In other words, the recording was created using artificial intelligence. Principal Eisworth was relieved he would finally clear his name, but there was still something troubling about him. Thought he was fake, everyone knew that by now. So who would make a fake recording to get their principal fired? When the school principal authorities realized someone was trying to frame the principal, they informed the cops, and it became an official police investigation. The detective on the case started by making a list of suspects. They asked themselves who would want the principal out of the picture. As they spoke to people in the community, one name kept coming up: Dejon Darion. If Principal Eisworth had an enemy, it would be this guy. Dejon Darion was the physical education teacher and the athletic director at Pikesville High School, so technically Principal Eisworth was his boss. However, Darion and Principal Eisworth did not get along. The teacher and the principal argued multiple times, and the tension between them kept building. Employees argue with their bosses all the time, so it was crazy to think Darion would make a fake AI audio to frame his boss. But a few days later, the detective uncovered one piece of information that made Dejon the prime suspect. Here's what the cops found when they were looking into Darion. We know Darion and Principal Eisworth did not see eye to eye, but they still worked together out of necessity. However, things between them went downhill when Dejon made a big mistake. Remember, Darion was the school athletic director in charge of managing the budget for PE activities. While going over the school accountant, Principal Eiswert is noticing that Daron spent $1,916 of school funds to pay an assistant coach for the girls' soccer team. There was just one problem. The principal did not even know the school had an assistant coach for the team. When he asked the girls' soccer team and their head coach, they confirmed there was no assistant coach at all. So, who got paid as a supposed assistant coach? When the Principal Eiswert investigated the name of an assistant coach check, he discovered that the so-called coach was actually Darian's roommate. In other words, Darian and his roommate stole money from the school. If the principal reported that theft, Darian would not just lose his job, he could be arrested. When the principal confronted him about it, Daron could not deny what he had done. Rumors spread that Darian's contract would not be renewed next semester. Darian was about to be fired and he knew it. Once detectives discovered Darian's motive, the rest of the case came together quickly. Investigators discovered that the Darian used the school's internet multiple times to look up generative AI tool, including the day before the audio clip was sent. They traced the email that sent out of the fake audio to an internet provider registered to Darian's grandmother. The recovery phone number on the email account had 213 area code, which was registered to Darian himself. After seeing all the evidence, a judge approved an arrest warrant for Darian. But there was one last twist. Darian ran away to escape before the cops could arrest him. But Darian's time as a fugitive did not last long. Yesterday, after the warrant was signed, Darian was arrested at the airport trying to board a flight out of state. He was slapped with multiple charges, including theft, retaliation against a witness, and stalking.
Mr. Darian, who was the athletic director at the high school, made the recording to retaliate against the principal who had launched an investigation into the potential mishandling of school funds.
The case against Darian is still going on as of the time of making this video. He would probably going to end up in jail. The crime we have discussed today, guys, paint a grim picture, but there's hope. Solutions exist. Government must enforce stricter regulation on AI development and deployment, while tech companies also have to prioritize ethics over profits. As individuals, we need to stay informed, question what we see online, and demand transparency from those who build and use this system. Protect yourself by practicing good digital hygiene, use strong password, verify sources before sharing the information, and think twice before clicking on unknown links. Educate your loved one about the crimes and report suspicious activities. Awareness is not just a key, it's the shield. If this video helped you understand the hidden dangers of the tech crime, share this video to help others stay safe. Let's fight digital crime together, one step at a time. Love you guys. Peace.